bad boys.
What you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you?
Why are the guys we love to hate also the guys we love to date? In this video, I'll explain exactly what it is that makes the bad boy so appealing and how you can use this information to break this cycle. There's a very simple way to find men who still tick the same bad boy boxes without treating you like crap. Hi, I'm Emily Baker from Love Learnings. If you're looking for help with dating, I'm here for you. Subscribe to my channel to see my new videos as soon as they come out. It never hurts to have a leg up in the dating world. So, why do women love bad boys? I've been looking into this one, and it turns out that the appeal of the bad boy is more complicated than you may think. There are actually several reasons that women are attracted to bad boys. But first, what exactly is a bad boy? He's more than just a guy in a leather jacket who just got out of jail. A bad boy is basically extremely masculine, with all the positive and negative qualities that brings. That means he's impulsive, assertive, and confident, but also full of himself, aggressive, and quick to anger. Bad boys tend to adopt a cool guy persona and even use their status to use and manipulate other people for their own gain. Think Tyler Durden in Fight Club, or Han Solo. So, what is it about these guys that we find irresistible? First, bad boys are confident, and that's something that so many men are missing. This confidence may be completely unearned and based on their own high opinion of themselves, but for whatever reason, that kind of raw confidence is just plain sexy. Another factor is their impulsivity. We all dream of a life that's more exciting than the one we're currently living. Bad boys are prone to get into trouble or start drama or turn a short drive into a weekend getaway. You never know what you're getting when you meet up with a bad boy, and that can be both exciting and a little scary. Like when he decides to drive 30 over the limit just to feel something. Bad boys' lack of empathy and consideration is what allows them to take chances without worrying about your feelings. And scientists say that the raw masculinity of bad boys is attractive to us on a genetic level. Research shows that women are more attracted to masculine men while they're ovulating, suggesting that there's an evolutionary basis for our love of bad boys. This fits in with the idea that while we may be attracted to bad boys, we typically don't see them as the ideal men to marry and settle down with. Still, other women are drawn to bad boys in the belief that they can change them. It can be exciting to think that you'll be the one to make him commit, settle down, and give up his bad boy ways. This is the same thing that drove the grizzly man to hang out with all those bears.
He tended to want to become a bear.
Most times I'm a kind warrior out here. Occasionally I am challenged, and in that case, the kind warrior must become a samurai.
And it usually ends up in the same way. If you're looking to attract better, more respectful men, you need to check out Amy North's free video presentation over at CoachNorth.com. She's cracked the code on what makes men tick and how you can be the most attractive version of yourself just by following a few simple guidelines. That's CoachNorth.com. Check it out right now. Another reason we date bad boys is because they can make us feel safe and taken care of. This is especially true if you've had a troubled and dangerous upbringing. You're looking for someone to protect you from all the dangers in the world, and that's something many bad boys can offer, as long as they don't become dangerous themselves. But the biggest thing that drives women to date bad boys is something we don't talk about nearly enough: low self-esteem. The thought process goes like this. You meet a nice guy and he treats you right. He's always sending you a good night text. He asks you how your day was and he seems genuinely excited to see you as much as possible. At first, you're over the moon, but after a little while, it dawns on you. If he's this into a girl like me, he must have no other prospects. What's wrong with this guy? This is low self-esteem in action. Now, imagine the same scenario with a bad boy. Instead of goodnight texts and flowers, you receive only you up and negging. You're upset that he's not treating you the way you'd like him to, but on some level you feel more comfortable than you ever did with the nice guy. What gives? The reason is often low self-esteem. He's treating you as badly as you treat yourself, as you feel you deserve to be treated. So before you can kick the bad boy, you need to have a little talk with the bad girl inside of you. Let's talk about negative self-talk. Look, what goes on inside your head is your business. But if you want to start attracting and being attracted to men who will treat you right, you need to start by treating yourself right. And that starts by putting an end to negative self-talk. Personally, I know that I'm someone who often gives myself a hard time and holds myself to a high standard that I often fall short of. When that happens, it can be almost automatic to think of yourself as lazy, stupid, worthless, or worse. This is so common that many people don't even know that they do it. One simple way to ferret out this negative thinking is to take a little time every day to give yourself a compliment. Be proud of something you've accomplished, even if it's as simple as not giving up, and you'll start to notice things turn around before you know it. That just about does it for today's video. Hopefully, now that you understand what attracts you to bad boys, you'll be able to break the cycle and find a man who treats you right. Remember, there are men out there who have all the good qualities of a bad boy: spontaneity, confidence, charm, with none of the downsides like aggression, manipulation, and negativity. If you have a story about a bad boy in your life, I'd love to see it in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out and allows me to continue making videos like this one. I'm Emily Baker. Thanks for watching.